Worrying. Safety experts who say the risk of drowning is high as Chicago experiences one of the hottest summers. So joining us right now this morning is Connie Harvey, the National Director of Aquatics Centennial Initiatives for the American Red Cross. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, you know, in the last couple of weeks, there have been 4 drownings in Chicago, in the area anyway, 2 of them being children. And this is happening at different beaches. And, you know, the question is this often a case of people overestimating their own abilities to swim?
That is often a factor, that they are overestimating their own abilities, but it begins a little bit further with not understanding the risks that are involved. And there are risks that are lurking under the water often, especially when we're talking about natural environments, and it could be currents, wave action, drop deep offs, rocks, marine life, many things. And that's why the Red Cross advocates that people only swim in areas that are designated for swimming. And obviously, we want you to swim where there's a lifeguard present if possible. We understand that situations are different this year, and there are many places that don't have lifeguards on duty. So active adult supervision whenever swimming is a critical thing that can make a difference this year.
Yeah, I'm always at a loss to understand why some kids go into a pool when they don't know how to swim. Is this a issue often of socioeconomics where a lot of people they can't afford to have their kids take swimming lessons?
That can be a factor for sure, but there are many ways that, many organizations offer scholarship opportunities. So we in the industry say we don't ever want finances to be a barrier to learning to swim. Often there is a generational fear that we want to help families overcome, and you can do that by getting water safety education and swimming lessons in many organizations, whether we're talking about the Park District or the Boys and Girls Clubs, or YMCAs, Jewish Community Centers. So there are lots of opportunities in the typical environment. Now, we know that it is different this year because so many places are closed. And that's why the Red Cross has come up with many materials, resources that people can access online. Understanding the risks about whatever water environment that you are planning to be in is super critical so that you can make good choices about the water. And that might be that you're choosing not to swim in that place, or like we're seeing here on the camera, that they are wearing U.S. Coast Guard approved life jackets. And also this great view that we're seeing is that you see these adults with, close supervision of the children who are playing in the water.
Oh, yeah. So that happens so often. People just go to a pool and they figure the lifeguards are there. They're not paying attention to their children, and they're on their cell phone or doing something else. This is probably a really good time for people to start thinking about taking a CPR class, probably, right? I mean, because you never know when you're going to end up in that situation and the lifeguard is nowhere near you.
Right. Knowing CPR is a critical part of drowning prevention. People need to know what to do if something goes wrong. That is one of the links in our chain of drowning survival. So understanding what drowning looks like is also a big part of that. Most people think that it's going to be loud and splashing, and that's not the case. It is typically silent and fast. Then you need to know how to help somebody get out of the water without getting in danger yourself, such as by reaching something or throwing something that they can grab on, and then beginning CPR. And of course, Red Cross offers CPR courses. You can also learn the fundamentals of CPR by downloading our First Aid app.
All right. Well, we want to thank you this morning for coming on the show to talk a little bit about this very important topic, because a lot of people right now are thinking about swimming, and they're probably not thinking about the things that we just talked about. So now we put it on their mind. We want to thank you very much, Connie Harvey, the National Director of Aquatic Centennial Initiatives for the American Red Cross. Have a great day.
Thanks.